Okay. So let's start. There's not many people in the chat right now, but we still start. Anyway, the video will be on demand on Twitch, I think. So I think there will be more people watching in VOD, and that's okay. The goal of today is to show you how to use tilemaps in Unity first, isometric tilemaps. Nothing really complicated, just the Unity tutorial, but it can help, and there are not so many tutorials on the web. I found some, but it was not enough to me. And the second part, which is the interesting part for me, is trying to do some shader in Shadergraph on 2D sprites on a tilemap. And that's quite interesting, but some minor tricks to do. I haven't prepared really what I want to do. I know what I'm expecting, but I haven't done the shader before, and I'll try with you to achieve that. So I hope I'll have a result. First thing first, some disclaimer: I'm not a technical artist. That's not my job. I'm not an artist at all. You can see that here. I'm not an artist. And I'm not really technical either. I'm a video game producer. I'm working on mobile games, hyper casual mobile games, but I'm also an indie developer on Unity. I've been working with Unity for 5 years now, I think. So if this can help some beginners, why not? Why not? If you have questions, if you're live, please in the chat, and if you're on the VOD, you have my Twitter here. You have my Twitter, so feel free to ask any question. I hope I will be able to answer, or maybe someone else. We'll see. So let's start. I wanted to do some from scratch project. I've got assets from my own project. I'm doing with my significant other, but I want a fresh start to show you everything which is involved in tilemaps and in shaders. And if we have some problems, tell me. I've changed some things in my setup, so maybe there are some problems. Okay, so do you see Unity? Yes, you see Unity. So let's start a new project. New project. I'll start with a 2D project. To do shaders, I would like to use a universal render pipeline, URP, but URP is hiding some options for the camera, and it's annoying with the tilemap. So I'll just start with the 2D project, and I swap. I had a universal render pipeline later. We'll see that later, but at the moment, I think Unity is developing all these modules, URP, tilemap, things like that, and not everything is correctly integrated. So there are some gaps, and this is one of the gaps I found. Maybe there's a way to do that. At the moment, I don't know. Okay, so let's call that. It was for Twitch, and ISO water. Okay, isometric water. Okay, let's go. I hope my computer will not die in the process, because streaming plus Unity plus Shadergraph, it's kinda heavy. I think it's already dying. Let me check. No, it's okay. It's just slow. Really slow. Okay, here we go. I don't put music on Twitch right now because I don't want issues with the music rights. I don't know if I should, but we never know. Okay, so this is Unity. I won't explain everything in Unity. I assume either you have already used Unity or you will discover on the go. Will be a perfect time to put your music. I don't have much music available right now, but maybe in the future. Yeah, I have the rights on my own music, you're right. So I was saying it's not a Unity Basics tutorial, but if you have questions, feel free, as usual. I wonder, I was supposed to have the chat on the right. Never mind. It's not really useful. So let's start. As it's a 2D project I created, the scene is already in 2D. Everything is great. Why don't I have the gizmos? I don't know. Okay. I'm missing some gizmos, I think. Not really, I don't think that. Well, that's okay. I don't need that. Okay, so I've got some, let me get some assets, some sprites I use up on the screen. Some assets from my own personal projects. These are placeholders. These are not definitive material, but it's useful to work. So first things first, keep things organized. I will import images. Where are they? Okay, so this is my water sprite. Okay. I'll come back in a few moments on the import settings. I just want the other tile I need. Okay, this one will do the job. So this is the other one. You can see because there's my face on it. This is a plain sprite and this is a water sprite. Okay. Can we see all the, okay, you can see all the import settings. So I want to work pixel perfect because I'm lazy and I don't want to deal with the blur or things like that. I just want my pixels to be displayed perfectly on screen. Again, I'm not an artist, so I spend quite a lot of time doing this stupid pixel art. Let me show you how stupid this is. Not that much, but this is quite basic. But as you can see, Unity blurs all the strokes. And that's why I want to show you some import settings for pixel perfect sprites. So first, let me check pixel per unit 100. That's okay. That's a number which is important. I'll come back later on that. It's simply how many pixels you have in one Unity unit. My sprites are 100 on 100, so it's 100 pixels per unit. Mesh type tight, it's important too, but right now I won't go into details, but keep it tight. The important things in filter mode, we want no filter, and boom, we've got some pixel perfect right now. It's way better for me. And in case we will size, no compression, apply, here we go. So we've got a nice sprite. No, it's great. I do the same on plain sprite. You can see the difference. So the plain sprite here, tac, filter mode, no filter, compression, none, apply, here we go. It's way better. Now we want to set up our tilemap, so I will just delete that. We don't need that at the moment. Tilemap is a package, so like all packages, it's in the package manager, obviously, which is a great feature. We didn't have a package manager a few years ago, and it was dramatic. As I created a 2D project, there are a lot of 2D packages already installed, and I need 2D tilemap editor, which is not this package aren't in the if you create a URP project or a 3D project. I think this package aren't by default in the project, so you have to add them manually. But as I created a 2D project, they are already in the basic project. So we need 2D tilemap editor, probably 2D Sprites, and 2D pixel perfect for the camera. And I think that's all. Maybe it's timeline. No, never mind. It's for another package. So here we go. Tilemap is here, Sprite is here, pixel perfect is here. And I'm on the wrong screen. You can see that. Here we go. Pixel perfect, Sprite, tilemap editor. These are the package I'll need, especially tilemap editor, obviously. The other ones aren't that necessary. Okay, so easy, create 2D object, and we want an isometric tilemap, and we want the up of the tilemap to be on the y-axis as we are working in 2D. So it's an isometric Z as Y tilemap, which automatically creates a grid, and the tilemap is a child of the grid. That's normal. You can have multiple tilemaps with the same grid. We will have that in a few moments. And the grid defines the size of the cells, and the tilemap will align with the grid after that. So you have a nice infinite grid. Okay. And the tilemap system of Unity allows to paint on the grid easily. By the way, if you want to do tilemaps, what I started with was, let's do simple. I think that's, no, not this one, and that's because I didn't say isometric. Okay, this is one good tutorial with a lot of resources. It works to create a tilemap with some difference of altitude, but it doesn't cover every aspect, but it's a really good start. It's really easy to find. It's provided by Unity. It explains how to create your tiles, and so that they fit correctly in the editor, and so on and so on. So it's a great start. I'll show you what I did and how it works in my game, but if you need more precise resources, it's there. Okay, so to paint on the tilemap, we need what it's called a tile palette. So we will need the tile palette window here, which is a new window which opens on the home screen. Here you go. Okay, so this is a tile palette window. At the moment there is no palette available, so we'll just create one, create new palette, and this will be the planes palette. The grid is isometric Z as Y. Everything will be isometric Z as Y. The cell size is the same as the one in the grid. Let's keep things organized. Tilemap. Everything related to the tilemap will be in this folder, I think. Okay, so I've got my planes palette here, which will be used only to draw planes. First of all, I will just show you how to add elements to this palette. It's like a paint palette. You just put colors, except every color is a sprite. So just drag and drop, and it will automatically create a tile. I'll put that in Tilemap, plane style. Okay, so it creates a tile. I put the water one just here. Tilemap, water tile. I don't know why I call that planes palette, just terrain palette or whatever palette, we don't care. So I've got my two elements of the palette. As you can see, there is an offset between the two. It's how I created the sprite. Let me show you if I can. Here, there's a lot of empty space above this one, and there is less empty space above this one. So this creates a difference of 8, and I need this difference of 8 visually to have the water lower than the ground. But it's just how I created the sprites, nothing else. Okay, so we've got our palette, and we've got a grid with a tile map. I will create two tile maps, one for the ground and one for the water. The reason is, if you go on the tile map, you can see here there's a tile map renderer, which is a component which renders the tile map on the screen, with some settings we'll see later. But there is only one material, because as far as I understand, the tile map is rendered as some kind of batch, and it's it costs less to render as a batch, so it's using the same material for everyone. And as we are going to do some shaders, we don't want the material to be applied on the plane and on the water. We just want it on the water. So we will have a tile map for the water with a specific material for the water, and a tile map for the other ground tiles with a basic material for sprites. I want to do that today, I think. I don't know what I could do with sprites, so at the moment I won't choose that. So this will be the water tile map, and I want a second tile map on the same grid, which will be the planes tile map. The tile palette is quite well made. You can choose on which tile map you are drawing. So let's start some drawing. Okay, so I want to paint in planes. That's my new color, planes. And it's quite easy. You just planes the map. You take the brush and you paint. That's quite easy. That's all the power of this tool. You can just, it's WYSIWYG, you know, you just draw and it works. Okay, that's quite simple, and I want some water, so I need some holes, for example, here. Okay, and on the water tile map, I want to draw only water. Okay, so we've got some settings to change, because as you can see, there's something wrong happening here. That's normal. That's normal. Let's see. Sort order is top right. That means it starts on the top right to render the tiles one by one, chunk by chunk. Here, as I have some weird differences, in my experience, individual works better, especially for this one, in fact. Not now, okay. And the settings I didn't do here, which is an important settings, it's the transparency sort axis, which determines which element is in front of which one. And as we want the y-axis to be the up, we have to change that. And by the way, this is the settings, camera settings, which is not available when you start with a URP project. I don't know why. Probably because you have to redo the transparency pipeline, I guess. But that's the reason why I started with the 2D project. So I want custom axis, and I want y1 and 0 and z, and that's a lot better, a lot better. Just see if I can go back to chunk. No, I can go back to chunk. I know that. Can deal with complicated difference of height, I guess. Maybe there's a way to make this work, but at the moment I will just stay to individual, and that's okay to me. Can I yes, quite nice resolution. Okay, so here is our tile map with some water. Nothing really fancy, but it exists. I could add some water on the side. The water tile map here, for example. Remove some here. Okay. Come on. Okay. Up. Water. Okay, so this is some basics for isometric tilemaps. Again, that's not really the most important thing there. I want to spend some time on Shadergraph and try to play with that. If you need more information, this tutorial is quite not complete, but almost. There are a lot of things in there, and you should be able at least to set up your basic tilemap. Not really dynamic tilemap with script attached, but basic visual tilemap. That's a start. Okay, so now we are going to the fun part, Shadergraph. What I want to do is to make the water tiles kinda moving, like they are waves or something. Add some life to this terrain with only one shader. So we'll try that. So first thing first, saving. Always saving. Then as I want to do some Shadergraph, I will have to go to Universal Render Pipeline. So let's create the render pipeline. Create rendering. Where is rendering? I have to add it. That's why. Okay, package manager on the right screen this time. And I want universal RP. It's a render pipeline Unity created, which is supposed to work for all platforms. That's universal. At the moment, I think it's your best choice, but I'm not an expert again. So installing the universal render pipeline. This just installs the package, it does not change anything right now. Okay. Come on, come on. So right now we are going to create the render pipeline object, put it in the settings so that Unity knows you have to use this render pipeline, and then we'll have to convert all the basic shaders to basic shaders which are compatible with the render pipeline. Fortunately, Unity provides us a tool which does that automatically. That's perfect. We will still see some, you know, the pink, the pink which says there's something wrong with the shader. If you have already done a shader with Unity, you know that pink. It's a something bad happened pink. Okay, so Universal RP is installed. My computer is starting to blow, so you may hear some fan blowing. That's okay. I guess the sound is too low. Let me know. Okay, so now we can create the package installed, so we can create here rendering, universal render pipeline asset. Pretty simple. Well, many tutorials on the URP on internet. I think Breakis, the YouTuber, have one. I don't know if you know Breakis. You have to know Breakis if you are doing Unity. There's a lot of content explaining a lot of things, and it's very clear, very simple. The videos are quite short, so it's easy to grab. Breakis. Okay, back here, so we've got our universal render pipeline and the renderer, and we have to put that in the settings, project settings. There we go. Here, scriptable render pipeline settings, so we have to add the render pipeline we have just created. Okay, that's pretty simple. And now we have to as I said, change our shaders, our materials, to universal RP materials. So project materials, we want all materials to be upgraded. Proceed. Okay, I think it's okay. So now I want my own material. Wait, let's create a folder first. Keep things organized. Material. And this will be water, quite simple. And I want a shader, so I want a shaders folder. And for that, shader, and we will use the experimental Shadergraph 2D oriented shaders. It works quite well. I've encountered no issue at the moment, so that's great. Lit or unlit depends on whether you bake your lights in your sprites when you draw them, or if you want the lights in the scene to have an influence on the sprite. This does not change what I want to do. I will go with lit. As in our game, we have some kind of day and night system with some light changing. It's quite interesting to have a lit sprite. Okay, so this will be wave water. Okay, so this material will have as a shader the shader we just created, which is in Shadergraphs. Wave water. Okay, from now on just white. Okay, it's basic shader, there's nothing in it. It's white, it's not pink. At least it's not pink yet. And I want my tilemap. As I said, one tilemap equals one material, as it's kind of batched rendering, I guess. So our material will be the water material. So it's right. It's right. It's ugly, but it's right. So let's start. So now everything on the water tilemap will be rendered with the water material, and the water material as our wave water shader. So let's work on the wave water shader. And for that, this is Shadergraph. I don't want to code myself the shaders. I've done that at school. It was horrible. So let's use Shadergraph. It's quite a nice tool. I just hope my computer won't burn magically because it's quite heavy on resources. So this is Shadergraph, and this is first the output node. This is a node which controls what you will see on the screen. So you can change the position of the vertex. So the vertex are the point of the mesh which is displayed, because even though we are working with 3D sprites, there is an invisible mesh created by Unity which renders the sprite. So there are vertices, and the shader applies to each and every vertex on the mesh, and each and every pixel too, but whatever. So we can change the position. We can change also the normals, which can be useful for lights, because most light calculations are made with normals. We won't change that because we won't want to work with lights at the moment, but it can be useful. You can change the tangents. What could it be used for? I don't know, but maybe it can be useful. You can change the color. That's the important part. The mask, which shows what is displayed or not. For example, you can have one big texture and take just a part of the texture, I guess. Again, we won't use that today. And normal, I don't remember what is normal. But we don't need that. Okay, so first thing, when we work in Shadergraph with sprites, and not only sprites but all textures, is that every texture has a hidden parameter which is called main text, and which stores the picture to show. For example, if I go to my tilemap, water tile, more on the sprite. In fact, the sprite, this will be the main text, like main texture. You can see that here, and there are some other texture here, secondary textures, like here are mask text, which controls the mask of the element, and normal map, which is a sprite which describes the normals. As I said, normals are used for lights. I could show you some normal map for this really simple sprite, but that's not the point. If anyone wants to see it, just let me know. So as you can see, it starts with an underscore, and main text has the same format. In fact, just you can change it. It's in the object. Thank you. I don't want that. Really. Come on. Thanks. Yes. Revert. We don't care. So main text is an element you can access in Shadergraph. So our mask text and normal map, I think I've never had the use of that, but if we want to play with normals, it could be interesting. By the way, if we want the lights to remain consistent with the movement of the water, we may have to change the normal maps too. I don't know, but we'll see in a few hours. So here in Shadergraph are the properties. Properties are elements you can access from outside the shader, either in code or in the inspector, and that's where we will fine-tune our effects without having to change the whole shader every time. So let's start with texture 2D, and this texture 2D will be main text. I never know, but I think the important part is the reference is called main text, exactly like that, so that Unity knows what you're talking about. Just to display something in the shadow graph, we'll use by default our water sprite, so that we can see what happens. And this property can be dragged and dropped in the Unity, in the Shadergraph interface. So it's available. And if we go back in the material, we can see, now we can see the main text. Because it's a main text, I think, because I haven't saved. That's why. But I think, yes, we can see the main texture here. We can change it. But as I said, it's something hidden in every sprite, so we shouldn't have to change it. Just having the sprite will set the main text correctly. Okay, so the main text is available in Shadergraph. The first thing to do with textures is to sample them, so that we have texture, which is data, to color information. So texture is our entry. So here we have our water tile, because I put here a default sprite, but it could be anything else. Just here it's an example on the water tile. And just to test, we will plug the output, so a red, green, blue alpha on the color. So right now, let me have a quad, much better. Come on, be pixel perfect, please. Whatever. Let's save, and we should have, here we go, we should have our water back. So this is the most basic shader for sprites you can do. Just take the texture, which is in the sprite, sample it, and plug it to the color. This is the easy part. Maybe we'll need to apply the shadow to normal map as well. I don't know. We'll see at the end. Exactly. I think we may have to do that to have correct lightings, but let's start with the beginning. So I want some waves, and I want waves to depend on the position in the world, and I want them to change during the time. I want something animated. So I think the simple part will be to use the position of the vertex, so position in the world or in the object. Let's start with the world. We'll see. I need more space. Okay. So what we are going to do is to take the position and change it, and we only want the water to go up and down, so it's the y-axis. So I just want the y-axis to change, and everything else won't change. You can see RGBA, but as it's a position, it's XYZ, for example. So Y will change, and X and Z won't change. At the end, we'll have some vector 3, Z3, and 2, vector 3, free. Okay, which will be the position, and we don't want the Z to move, Z to move, and we don't want X to move. Okay, just Y will change. Just to check, we can, that's stupid, but we could plug the Y together and see everything is okay, but that's really, really stupid. Okay, so now we want to use the current position in Y of the tile, the object, plus add some fluctuations. So at the end we'll have two parts which will be added, and it will create our Y. The first part will be the original Y, so that we are always at the same basic position for every tile, but we need to add some Y, simply. Okay. I will need the first parameter, which will be how high the tile can go, and this will simply be a float, and floats are just vector 1. Let's call that amplitude. It's exposed. By the way, main text doesn't need to be exposed. We don't want it in the inspector because it's baked into Sprite again. But amplitude is something we will set manually. If we go that, we can change the amplitude. By default, I want it to be 1. Let's see. And we can add our amplitude and say just add 1. It won't work. I tell you it won't work, but just add 1 and see what happens. This was unexpected, and so was this. Am I with the right axis? With axis Y. Okay. Okay. It's weird. Is something wrong? I think everything is okay there. Yes. But it's always funny to see that. So, this is okay. The settings are okay. Am I working with the wrong axis? I'm not sure. No, I'm on XY. That's okay. It's because I work in wall position instead of object, maybe. Check. Okay, that's way better. But okay, change the amplitude. Okay, that's better. But at the moment, I'm just adding amplitude, and as you can see, I'm adding amplitude in Unity unit, so it's way too much. It's way too much, and we'll try to stay pixel perfect. So I want this amplitude to be pixels amplitude. Cosinus. Yeah, it's really some cosinus or sinus at one moment. Probably sinus. I prefer sinus. I want this amplitude to be pixel perfect. That's why I want to have some parameter which is vector 1, which is pixels per unit, and which will be the same pixel per unit as in our images here, 100. So we keep the same parameter everywhere. So everywhere in every sprite, on the pixel perfect camera, I didn't set up the pixel perfect camera, but it's kind of the same. On the pixel perfect camera, we will have the same PPU, pixels per unit, which is 100. I probably could take that from a script on the camera, but that's not the point of this video. Okay, so I've got my pixels per unit. By default, it will be 100, and I don't need two, I just did one. And we want want to divide our amplitude by pixels per unit. So when we move one, we don't move 1 unit, we move 1 pixel, and this is added. Okay, this is useless, this is useless. Okay, so let's save and let's see what happens. Let's go back to the material and change the amplitude. Okay, it seems nice. It seems nice. Let's check that this is pixel perfect. So amplitude 1. Okay, that's great. I love when it is pixel perfect. 8, 9. It's really is pixel perfect. That's great. That's great, and we can have minus. So great. Okay, so now we don't have a movement, we just have some offset. We want to have to add a wave. First, I would like a static wave, but which a special wave, not dependent on time, but just dependent on the space position. So let's see. We can take the position in Y and apply some sinus. Sine, sorry, I'm French. Add it. But this won't be pixel perfect, I guess. Let's see. That's wrong. That's really wrong, because I don't want the wave to be in that like this. I want it to depend on the x-axis. That's kind of funny. Let's just play with it just to see. Not as funny as I expected. Okay, so it's not y we want here. We want y here, okay, but this will be multiplication at the end, probably, like it's an amplitude, so we just want to have something between 0 and 1, -1 and 1, and multiply it by the amplitude at the end. Okay, so now we need our thing between -1 and 1, and this will be the sign, but it depends on x, not on y. Okay, so let's multiply that by the amplitude, and we should be not bad. Okay, there are things moving a bit. You can see there's difference. So let's up the amplitude. That's interesting. Not exactly what I had in mind, but that's interesting. Let's push it even further. Okay, so these two ones are weird. This is okay. This is kind of okay, but these are kind of weird. Why are you just at the wrong place? Like, if you are 1 unit lower, it will be okay, I guess. Yes. And these ones are where to. I think it's because It's rendered by chunks. No, I changed that. It's not by chunks. It's individual. Chunks is just won't do the job. Just check. By bad chunks. It follows way better the wave. I'm not even sure this effect will be great. Still, it can be for plain variation to a very small set, so plain won't seem totally aligned. Yes, indeed. And could even have some mountains or things like that. This kind of shader. This could be a mountain, for example. Weird mountain, but still. Okay, we're not quite there yet. Let's go back to individual. We have to find something which will adapt to the fact while we are doing individual rendering. That's weird that some of them are in chunks and some of them just aren't in chunks. I'm afraid we can't use object position. In absolute wall maybe. That's even worse. Why are you leaving? Where are you going? Wall will be quite the same, I think. Yeah, same. That's unfortunate. View won't help, I think. At all. Object is still the best thing at the moment, but I think that is an object, that is an object, that is another object. And I'm not sure I can see which is which and why they are cut like that. This will be harder than expected, I think, because the Tilemap is doing some internal business, sorting with on the z-axis, I think, and adjusting the position. Let me think. Still, it's funny. Yeah, this one just being one object each. Okay, we'll try to cheat. First, this is way too big of a sign. We need to have a smaller period. So I'll add something like that. What could be its name? The parameter, the bigger it is, the more wave we have. So like a frequency, I guess. Default value of 1, and we'll just divide our position by the frequency. Okay, we're liking space here. Okay, so now we have more control on the sign. Not what I expected. the more the frequency goes up, the smaller this is, and so we should have some that's weird, the sign is wrong. Why is my x-axis? No, it's in the right place. It's in the right place, but I can see the waves. At least that's it. But not how I expected them. Because something like that could do the job, in fact. Not really, but if you have something like that, it's not perfect, but it moves. Can do the trick. Doesn't solve problem, of course. This is really strange, like why these chunks. I agree, it's weird, especially these, well, like at the bottom, why aren't we in the same chunk? Here, why are these two not in the same chunk as these two? I don't know. Let's try to add some temporal moving just after that. I know I should just try to fix that, but that's not fun. So time, we need some time, and we need some sign time, and we just add two to that. I need more space. Okay, you move, you come here. Oh, I could keep that, it's always interesting. That's a sign. So, but when it's under 0, it just shows black, so half of the time is black. And half of the time is between 0 and 1. So it's black to gray to white, to gray to black, and half of the time is black because it's under, you know. So let's add that to the position and multiply by our amplitude. Oh, my computer is dying. Here we are. Okay, that moves a bit, but the time parameter should be in the sign of the position, so that not everything moves at the same rate. Okay, so instead of adding that after, we want to add that before. Here we go, here we go. Okay. Problem is, time doesn't really flow in the editor. It can move, but it doesn't refresh every time. Let's say, yes, I say. So let's begin play mode. Okay, so I guess The time part is too small to have a real impact. Let me think. Yes, because this is between -1 and 1, and I didn't plug it. That's why. You go there. Now you go there. Okay. Go there, and you go there. Okay. That was weird. Each time I click or I move, just refresh the time, but it's just a play. So great. Let's just resume. That's too bad, because if it wasn't for this chunk issue, we could have something quite interesting right now. Because we have waves right now. Weird waves, but we have waves. Okay. I come back in 2 minutes. Just need a break. Okay, let's get back. Just kept WhatsApp too noisy. Okay, so I'm thinking normally if we don't want to have this chunk problem, just using the wall position would be a solution, but I don't understand why it moves some tiles very far from where they should be. Let's say a wall. Let's try to fix that. Okay. It's always the same people, same tiles. You, and these three. You know what? Maybe I should just raise them. No, that's weird. Like, if you are back in chunk, that's okay, but it's so weird. Let's try. They need to be in a chunk to work. Where are you? That's so weird. Like, wow, why are you doing that? It's getting worse and worse. screen in a few seconds. Come back here. I'm on the wrong palette for some reason. Maybe is that the problem? No, that's not sense. No, I'm on the correct palette. Where are you? Show yourself. Okay. Let's put it back. That's weird. Why are you moving so far? And as soon as you have a chunk, it's kinda going back to normal. It's really weird. Problem is you can't like debug the positions of this. There's no way to have the information. Is the position moved? Specifically with 3 and with 2. Like Unity doesn't know really how to handle them, and that's weird. Can I go back to chunk at least here? Oh, that's kind of better, but we have visibility issue there. I have things like that in other project, but kinda cheated to solve them. And in fact, quite good, except the visibility issues, but not that bad. Just want to add some speed here. That's not really a frequency, but whatever. Speed here, because it's a bit slow to me. Let's apply here speed, same time here. I'm gonna put the default to 1, save, and let's try it a bit. Okay. Okay. That's not bad. That's not that far off what I expected. Except my computer is dying now. I can have the data of my GPU. I just have the CPU. The CPU is okay, but the GPU is kinda working hard right now, rendering this real time plus the streaming. Is there a way I can fix that without cheating? I'm not sure. Why is it slowing, then speeding up and slowing again? That's weird. Is there some kind of modulo in the scene, design, something? I don't know. Maybe I could just do myself a modulo. Maybe, not sure. But at the moment it's just doing weird things. Let's get back in control. Okay, so this is our Y position. Why am I using the Y position? We said X now. Why is it X? We're supposed to use the X position, not the Y. This can change a lot of things. Okay, that's why I was on the wrong axis. Okay, that's better. Still have some issue there, but That's more what I had in mind. This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and this is wrong. But we're getting somewhere. And can play with that. Not bad, huh? Just, why are you going back? Okay, maybe the sign is just not doing what I'm expecting him to. And we can go higher and higher. That's quite good, in fact. That's quite good. Not bad, not bad. Kind of weird things like, oh yes, this should be above the planes, not behind. This would be way more interesting. Like, you are in front of him, but behind him. I know how to solve my problem. Look, no problem. Everything is working perfectly. What happens if you change the order of tilemap? Good question. Nothing. Sorry, that was a good guess, but in fact nothing. Except if I do that, and yes, so now every plane is render above every writer, so that's not what we want, of course. Is there an order into the tile? Yes, but you can see it's top right, and if I put something else, it will be chaos. Like, welcome to chaos. Bottom right, top left, and top right. This is chaos. That's weird. And wait a time up. Turns that everything will be above, of course. At least that is doing what it's expecting. Did. I can go back to chunk. I can go back to chunk, but as he is rendering with chunks, he can deal with above and behind at the same time. I can understand that. Thinking for each tile independently. An order to the tile for each tile independently. Not sure. That's right, it's a very good shadow for a flag, except it's going back and forth. I will try to fix that. Go back to individual, but this won't solve everything, but at least the thing is we can look here. Yes, he's the one going back and forth. And I just want to check we are taking the correct x. Depending on the x and time, we've got a sign multiplied by an amplitude of pixel perfect amplitude. We could say that. But this could be some. This could become a graph. Just running. Calculate by pixel perfect amplitude. Just to try. No, because can you go back to quad? No, I can't go back to quad. Yes, you can correct. And you can show me a preview code. Okay. Now, so this is a subgraph, and this could be reused in other projects. Just that I don't have to record this every time. But at the moment, it's not quite necessary. Just unplug everything. But it's good to use some subgraphs for things you have to reuse. If I had to use this 4 or 5 times just to block, it's way easier, and kind of hide the complexity, leave some space here. It's quite interesting. Like that. Okay, so am I missing? I'm doing something wrong in the logic of my sign, or not? This won't be very interesting because we multiply, and this won't be very interesting either. Okay. Let me think. This is a world position, so it's between minus infinity and plus infinity. Divide by frequency, we stay in the same range. And we add something between minus speed and speed. And we put that in the sinus. I think I want to put back this between 0 and 2 pi. This could be interesting. At least I have control on how big this is. And maybe we can have the rain. It's kind of rainy. A bit of thunder here. Whatever. I'm in bar glasses everywhere. I'm like in these videos, lo-fi chill studio music with rain on the window. It's kind of fun. So let's put back this between 0 and 2 pi and some space. As far as I know, Shadergraph doesn't come with pi. Sugar math. There's no pi, but it's easy to have pi, in fact. Just checking. Could say trigonometry is the perfect way to have pi, but no. Wave, dancing, also to frame. This could be cool for music. Could be. I have to think about maybe doing some shader including music. I don't know. I think about that. Pi. Trigonometry. Just have to do some degrees to radians. 80. And that's pi. Goes 80 degrees. It's pi radians by definition. Cool. This could be a subgraph. Cool. This is pi. Hello pi. How are you? Oh no, I forgot to put an input. Yes. Yes, indeed. I can put an input there. Input in the okay. Will it work? Not sure. Okay, this is pi. Okay. And this is 2 pi. This is some high level Shadergraph. This is pi. That's great. This is pi. Okay. Save asset. Constab. This is just stupid, but I like it. And we want this to be between 0 and 2 pi. If I use a modulo, knowing that we have a sign, so 0 and 2 pi is kind of the same thing. Okay, so good thing this will stay between 0 and 2 pi. Okay, let's try that. Is it better? Is it not? No, I've got the same issue. What am I doing wrong? Could it be the same time? No, that's weird. Same time usually works correctly. There's something wrong with my logic. Not that this changed nothing, but that's okay. Sorry. So because my time goes by between -1 and 1, that's okay. This is between 0 and 2 pi. Maybe this is what should be between 0 and 2 pi, but whatever, it's just an offset. Maybe. Let's just try. It's quite fast to do. Wait a second. You come here. You come here. Okay. So now the modulo is done after adding the position to the time. Okay. Let's see. What should I have saved? Nah, it's the same issue. We have the same issue. What am I doing wrong? Something must be wrong. Let's get back to what I had before because I liked it better. Okay. So this is the wall position. We take x, we divide by frequency. Yes, why not? Modulo 2 pi. I'm okay with that. And we add something which is between -1 and 1, which fluctuates with time. We take the sign of that. Okay. And then multiply by amplitude. We add the y position, create a vector, and that's the output position. That's okay. That's okay, but not totally okay. Not sure it's moving or not. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. So what's wrong with my sinus? I think it's doing what it's expected. Goes. That's weird. Let's check again. Could it be some kind of phase inversion because the position parameter and the time parameter is kind of cancelling at one point? Yes, I think something like that. It's always doing what it is expected, but in the way. Yes, I found a way not to create a light bulb. Exactly. This is not a light bulb at all. I don't know that. It's like something with Edison. Ah, yes, it's in Benjamin Gates. Great movie. Yes, like I think I understand. Time is doing okay. That's no problem. And there is some, how could I say that? Position parameter and the two parameters that can. Time is in phase advance, and then they kind of overlap and stops moving. Then time is in delay or the opposite, whatever. And let's create this kind of back and forth effect, I think. So I may have to put the position parameters somewhere else. And why not? It works perfectly, no problem at all. Okay, let's think, because here I've got only one sinus. I have two sinus. No, it's okay, I have one sine. One sine, but this is doing sawtooth 0 to p, 0 to p, 0 to p. Okay. Just want to try changing the frequency just to check there is the parameter where you don't have this effect. I like it with low frequencies. It's too much, but kind of funny. I'm not sure you're hearing it, but my cat is currently snoring. It's really weird. I think he is dreaming. How can we solve this problem of going back and forth? That's a good question. At least we got something. That's great. I was not sure we would go so far. Okay, it's about around 3 seconds, which could be sign of the time. Every 3 seconds, yes. If a second is a radian, It makes sense. It makes sense. So maybe I don't want to use a sign, maybe I want something else. Like what could be a clever way to do that? Taking gradients, but not great. Stop. You can do many things at the same time. You will burn. Is there something else? Like something which goes smoothly from 0 to 1, then 0, 1, 0, 1, without going -1. Maybe the sawtooth we saw before. Sawtooth wave. That's it, just one parameter. If I give you time, what do you do? Interesting. Let's try. Let's try that. It's a bit fast, but maybe. Okay, that's not exactly what I want, but some tweaking, like I just want to see the documentation, Shadergraph, sawtooth, to understand exactly. Each node in Shadergraph is documented, so return sawtooth wave and the value of input in. Okay, so maybe I don't want time to be a parameter. Just want to. Oh, come on. Thank you. Maybe I want pi to be a parameter. No, what are you doing? That's not clear. Okay. That's great. Okay, so we need time. And maybe even same time. We need some multiplications somewhere, I think. Nah. No. What do we have? Wave. Noise scene wave, maybe square wave, triangle wave. Just want to try that. Wow, that's weird. I want to try that. It's funny. I like funny. This will probably be a mess, but oh yes, that's a mess. Indeed, that's a big mess. Especially because it's not multiplied by the speed. Not sure it should be multiplied by the speed, but whatever. So we don't want that. We want the sign should be good. I don't understand. Sawtooth could be a good idea too, but it's linked to the sign. I'm not sure I want sign. In fact, I just want time. Maybe I don't want same time. Probably be better. But maybe I want this to come back between 0 and 2 pi, I guess. Just to be sure. Oh no, it's great, perfect. It was just that. I didn't want same time, I just wanted time. And I guess because I wanted to apply the sign just after putting the position parameter. Yes, the time part is linear, the position part is linear, but at the end, we put that in sign. Okay, so I've got the effects I wanted, just adding some tilemap issues. Let's see if we can fix that with some voodoo. I don't know. But that's quite interesting. I'm not sure that pixel perfect though, because the pixel perfect conversion is done on the amplitude side, but let me try something, because here we move, yes, the amplitude is pixel perfect, but the amount of position we add is not really pixel perfect. Just want to try that. Put back amplitude here just to try, and then here we want here to be pixel perfect at this moment. Pixel per unit. And add that just to try. I'm not sure, but part of the fun with Shadergraph is trying things, you know, experimenting. You're going too fast. I don't know if you're perfect, pixel perfect or not. Maybe, but let's say that. Not sure it's relevant to have pixel perfect translation there. It's quite interesting. Whatever, it works. Kinda works. The effect is there, the problem is on the tilemap side, but the effect is there. I like it that way. It's really wobbly. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, just a bit less amplitude, slower, something more smooth, more calm. Again, calmer. Okay, let's see. That's interesting. Let's just go away. That's not bad. I don't know what you think, but that's not bad. Okay, maybe less amplitude. Okay, and maybe more frequency. Do something with frequency. It's not great. I should do that in the opposite way. Because there I'm just multiplying something between 0 and 1 and no, I'm dividing with something between 0 and 1 and should maybe multiply with something greater than 1. Yeah, probably. Let's try that. Maybe it should not be called frequency, but whatever. Not the first time I will see a parameter with the wrong name at all. We said x, multiply here, modulo. Not sure the modulo is necessary, but whatever. Okay, and now I want to have a bigger frequency. Why I'm stopping? It's interesting. Zoom a bit. Okay. Not doing exactly what I want, but it's doing. It's moving on the object space now? No. Just move so much. I think I must stay in range. A bit more interesting. Yes, something like that. Maybe I should put a clamp or something like that. I don't know. Okay. Okay, I'll take a 2-minute break, 2 minutes break, and then try to fix that Tilemap issues. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with what get out of its shader. Come back 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. And we are 2 hours in. That's quite an interesting result in only 2 hours. Closing that there was the setup for the Tilemap. Quite happy with that. Not too much. 2 pixels. Okay, I think. Okay. That's kind of good. So now, is it possible to solve this issue? What kind of voodoo magic did I use the last time? I used create the type. We don't care. It wasn't the sprites. I used some magic like generate physics. No, and then put them back and magically it worked. I'm not expecting anything from that, but we never know. Generate physics shape. Okay. I don't think putting full rect will change anything either. Okay. Changing the pivot point will be worse. Let's do what every good developer does in his life, looking on Google. Unity, Tilemap, Shader, I'm not the only one apparently. To get it automatically to the individual mode, yes. I think we put that quite early. Individual, yes, and put that in chunk because individual was kind of a mess. At least it's great when it works, but there are 5 tiles where it doesn't work. Could just cheat, you know, and say like, hey, it works. It works pretty well. I don't understand the logic behind that. It's really weird. Really weird. But if I had to deliver a game in the day, I would say just change the map and make it work. That's okay. Because if you look like that, it's perfect. It's just perfect. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. Works perfectly everywhere. Just when you have some kind of tiles which must be above and behind, because somehow this is rendered by chunks, I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. At least there is a workaround, but yeah. What if we don't want to work with workarounds? What if we want a real project which works whatever the configuration? I think you were here. I said you were here. You were here, and on the plain style map, you were here. Yes. This is our weird tiles. By the way, just it's no big deal, but compress tilemap bounds so that it just uses the bounds where there are tiles. It shouldn't change nothing there, but we never know. Okay, so why are you moving both in Y and X? That's nonsense. Plus more like one full tile, and here one full tile, 1.5. 2 full tags. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I fixed it. I fixed the shader. It was really easy, in fact. It was just them. So this was the issue. The issue was here. The calculus of the moving of the water was okay, no problem. But we were adding this to a wall position. In fact, here we were adding the movement to the wall position, which was wrong. The solution was simply to add it to the object position. Yes, I know if you have done Shadergraph before, it seems obvious, but I missed that the last time. So it's not the same graph because I redid it because I lost it, but it's kind of the same idea. You use time and position, wall position on the x-axis, and you put that in a cosine, and then you add the position, the original position. Except now it's the object position instead of the wall position, and that's what the issue. So now it's working. That's great. It's working very well. There is no the issue with clusters there was before. Clusters aren't a problem. You don't have to have water tile in the same row. As you can see, this one is alone on a row, and it's okay. It works perfectly. So this was the solution. Sorry for taking so long to solve it, and thanks for watching this video. Thank you.